United States of America, Santa Fe, New Mexico, where Santa Fe Gloom is hosting BRUSA out of Arizona for this incredible match. 4:30 here at the Genoveva Chavez Center, located in the heart of Santa Fe. Your commentator tonight on YouTube is David Sidebottom. We'll bring this game to you live starting at 4:30. Let's go over BRUSA. Just is number one in the Southwest Division, coming off of a victory, 6-3 victory over Los Unitas earlier last week. BRUSA is a 4-0. They've got a 63 goals for, and they've only conceded 16 goals. Gloom has moved up to second place, where they're at a record of 2-2, and they match their goal differential, 23 goals for and 23 goals against. Will this be the day where your Santa Fe Gloom get ahead in that differential? Can we get more positive goals than negative goals? So that's what we got tonight. Welcome to Season 3 and Game 5 of the Santa Fe Gloom Futsal. Today we bring you another National Futsal Premier League matchup featuring your Santa Fe Gloom. And today we play the undefeated BRUSA Futsal Club. First of all, let's thank our sponsors for tonight's game. The official game sponsor for today's match is the official credit union of the Santa Fe Gloom, the Del Norte Credit Union, or DNCU. Visit them at dncu.org today. City of Santa Fe Economic Development, thank you, Joanna Nelson. Capital Ford of Santa Fe, thank you, Zach Brandt. And now to say yours truly does drive a 2022 Ford Maverick. It's a beautiful truck. Thank you, Capital Ford, for that. Our official t-shirt burrito canning sponsor is Pantry Dose of Santa Fe. Thank you, Michael Singley. That little burrito cannon will not shoot out burritos, it will shoot out t-shirts. Our athletic trainer, Joe Friedrich and Stephanie Olian, the professional therapy partners. Our official podcast partner is Pit Press Podcast. Thank you, Eric and Jennifer Moulton. Our official warm-up jersey sponsor for the Santa Fe Gloom is St. Vincent Hospital Foundation. Thank you, Marcus Zubia. And the official Gloom jersey title sponsor is Mercedes-Benz of Santa Fe. Thank you, Michael Martinez. Please thank these amazing sponsors who help our games be free. So visit them today, wherever you can. Teams entering the court today, walking with the Gloom, will be Santa Fe United. And the national anthem is once again performed local, born and raised Rachel Kelly, who will be playing violin for the national anthem. She's been playing for 24 years. She's a full-time performer in the surrounding areas. Please follow Santa Fe Gloom on all your social media, Twitter, TikTok, and of course Instagram, Facebook. You can follow me live on, let me get this live going here on Instagram as well. We have our team out calling in out the lineups for both teams. We have BRUSA today in yellow, their keeper in a light green, and your Santa Fe Gloom are in their home colors, white on white, with our goalkeepers in baby blue jerseys. I'll go over the rosters in just a moment. Playing for BRUSA tonight, Jared Wilson, goalkeeper number 1. Diego Vargas will be number 6. Brian Garces Yoriba, number 3. Christian Lima, number 8. Eduardo Medina, number 4. Kaya Martins is the captain for Brussa today, number 9. Joey Fuller in 12. Karim Mariano, 18. Jan Brandeo, 14. Angel Hernandez, 112. And for your Santa Fe Gloom roster, we have Daniel Renteria, number 33 out of Kansas City, Missouri. Brian Rivas, number 10 out of Albuquerque. Andreas Monge, number 8 out of Albuquerque. Pedro Torres is your captain, co-captain, number 2 today out of Albuquerque. Jaime Hernandez, number 9 out of Albuquerque. Your second co-captain and the passionate ever, Julian Chile Bustamante is number 18. And we have Maximo Brito, number 7 out of Albuquerque. Leonardo David Parra Ruiz, number 16 out of Venezuela. Javier Hernandez, number 23 out of Vail, Colorado. Jose Gonzalez, number 14 out of Santa Fe, New Mexico. Preci Ruiz, number 12 out of Santa Fe. Jorge Morales, number 1 out of Guadalajara, Mexico. And Santiago Duarte out of Bogota, Colombia. Your coaching staff and ownership for your Santa Fe Gloom. Our general manager, Sergio Rivas. That's right, the same Rivas. He's related to Brian Rivas and also plays for the United. Head coach is Patricio Schmidtiel Jr. and owner, of course, David Vasquez. Take a moment, take your hats off, as the national anthem will be played by Rachel Kelly on the violin. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Rachel Kelly, born and raised in Santa Fe. Give her a shout out, follow her on social media. And Kelly is spelled Kelli. Get ready for this match. For those who are new to futsal, futsal is another variation of soccer. It is played typically on a hard court, like here in the Chavez Center, we're playing on the basketball court. It is larger than your typical basketball court. There are no walls like in traditional indoor soccer, so the ball has to go outside the boundaries, which we have marked out here as blue tape around the court. We play 5v5, that's 4 field players, usually in the shape of a diamond, with typically sometimes 1 defender, 2 midfielders, and an attacker, but some go 2 defenders, and then a mid and a forward, and of course your goalkeeper. Keepers can still use their hands inside their marked areas, which is the blue paint. There are no throw-ins or kick-ins. There are corner kicks, and keepers can start with the ball. If it goes out of bounds, they can start with the ball either as a kick or as a throw. We do the traditional coin toss to find out which side of the court they'll start on. Luckily here, they don't have to worry about the sun getting in the eyes of their keeper or conditions like wind or rain. Dry atmosphere. They set aside which end they're going to defend first and which end they're going to defend in the second half. Yes, there are 2 halves. There are not periods. and we'll be setting out for 20-minute halves. Really excited to be hosting and commentating for this game tonight. Looks like we have Torres, the captain, out there, Brian Rivas, and of course Chile Bustamante, both captains on the court. And goalkeeper will have Daniel Renteria. Looks like we have Andres Monge possibly out there as well. As soon as he turns his jersey, we'll confirm that as well for you in just a moment. Brussa's doing a 1-1-2-1 formation. And the kickoff is about to start. If you need and we have the kickoff. Chile plays it out to Peter, who plays it back to Brian. Looks patiently, brings it back to Pedro. Looking to attack, bring the ball up the court as they move it north and south, as they're ready to try to penetrate the defense of BRUSA. Brian brings it back, sees Chile on his right, who goes cross court to Andreas. Brings it back to Chile, who's being very patient right now today. Plays it back to Brian, mid-court. Andreas drops it back. Chile's now on the right side or north side of the court as we play an east-west field setup. Brian plays it, puts Andreas under pressure, plays it back to his keeper. Andreas gets it back on the south side of the court. Goes deep to Chile, who comes back and jogs to the middle of the court. Looks to reset as Brian creates an option. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, players should always be constantly moving if you're off the ball, and after you play the ball, you should play again. Nice cross. It goes out of bounds for a BRUSA restart deep in their half. But you should always be off the ball or on the ball, creating a left-right and what we call far, far away, or the Shrek option. As the ball gets kicked in, number 4 plays a nice deep ball as he's attacking. Nice interception by Brian as we get the counterattack, and there is a foul deep in Gloom territory. And it looks like it's being rewarded to BRUSA as all 4 players get back. It's important to get between the ball and the goal. BRUSA does a quick substitution. It's got Lima and Medina on the court. And they're rotating players around, trying to throw the Gloom off. And the shot goes above the goal. You see a little bit more trickery in what we call the set plays, the dead balls. Trying to get the defenders moving out of the way and trying to track with the players. Brian plays the ball up to Andreas, who holds the ball north side of the court, brings it south to Pedro, and back to Brian. You'll see a lot of rotation of players, north, south, east, and west. Rivas with the ball. Brings to Pedro on the north side. Pedro sees Chile on the south side. Chile brings it back to Pedro. Riva, Monge, Chile. Chip low, and it gets kicked out of bounds way into the weight room up here at the Chavez Center. They're looking for a ball on the sideline. We're at a little under 18 minutes, and when the ball goes out of bounds, unlike real soccer or the full size, once the ball goes out of bounds, the clock does stop. Quick restart from the Gloom, ends up with a Gloom corner. We're going to do a kick in, almost on the corner. Monge plays it back to Rivas, who tries to pair it with his left foot, goes wide for a BRUSA restart. Keeper has the ball, rolls it out to his number 14. Sees number 6 open and takes a nice kind of a wicked shot far post. Daniel gets his hands on it. Unfortunately, it does slip through his hands, creating a corner kick. Brandeo goes in for the corner kick. They got Martins, Medina ready for the kick in, and luckily for the Gloom, it goes all the way across court. Riva starts it, plays it to a substitute that we have on the court now. They do quick substitutions here. You don't have to call out for the ref. The player just has to come off the court immediately. And that must be Santiago, number 13. Chile tries to play it deep, and he goes out of bounds for a Brussa restart with the keeper. Ball's on the south side, played in. Pedro is the closest player for the Gloom. He's going to put some pressure on that ball. Now it switches off. Chile steps forward, puts pressure. Brussa brings it back to restart. Now on the side of the court, Chile putting pressure on the ball. Cross north. We have a little battling going on with Captain Martins for Brussa and Brian Rivas near the box area. Pedro intercepts. Santiago does a nice little chip. Oh, keeper comes out of the box, saves it, and kicks it long out of bounds for a Gloom restart. Still 0-0. Still time to come down to the Chavez Center, see the game. Daniel plays the ball to Brian. Deep in Gloom territory. Chile is the point man up in the box. Pedro gets the ball south side, plays it back to Rivas. To Santiago. Almost a little miscommunication there. Chile comes deep. Sees Rivas on the north side. And Rivas goes deep, tries to center it. Vargas for Brussa kicks out of bounds, so it is a Gloom corner kick. You got Chile and Santiago deep, and Pedro kind of creating an eye as they attack the ball. A chip up, and ooh! Chile did a beautiful volley. He put the hot sauce in that volley, his left foot, right into the gut of a Brussa player who's down on the field. Immediately felt that. We heard it all the way up here. That was definitely some Christmas he put on that. Not green or red, but definitely Christmas. Probably got a pantry dose. Some fire on that volley. Chile's always a commiserate sportsman going over to help him up. Number 4, who took it hard, Medina, is going to stay on the court. See, it's a restart. Pedro putting pressure on the ball. Santiago comes. Number 4, Medina comes across, takes a left-footed shot, goes out of bounds. Daniel, the keeper, plays it short to Santiago. Pedro on the south side. Chile point man. We got another sub for your Gloom. Pedro makes a run in. And we got Jose Gonzalez, a local Santa Fean, on the court as well. So we got Pedro, Santiago, Chile, Jose, and Daniel on the pitch or the court right now. Restart for Brussa on the north side of the court in their defensive half. Tries to do a chip, and the ball goes out of bounds. Chile goes to restart, plays it back to his keeper. Daniel brings it up, looks for options. Ball Ball gets ricocheted out of bounds for a Gloom restart. Plays it back to the captain, Chile. He looks at Pedro, a little miscommunication on what to do. And Chile was able to save the ball from going out of bounds. Pedro receives the ball. South part of the court, goes back to Jose. Jose brings it to Santiago. Look to try to create something. Jose has the ball, sees Pedro. Pedro directs him a little bit. Santiago sees Chile. Oh, unfortunate. Goes underneath his feet. Couldn't get it under control. Goes to the keeper who plays it out to Medina. Vargas trying to make an overlapping run. Ball comes back to Medina. Chile putting pressure, tries a slide tackle. Ball goes out of bounds. Santiago comes out. Andre Monge comes on. Chile goes out as well. Brussa restart. And we got Pressure Wheeze on the court as well. So we got two local players from Santa Fe on the court. Pedro starts the ball up. Sees Jose on the north side. Jose sees Pressure Wheeze. Does a nice little one touch to Pedro. Comes around, cuts around. Can he play it back? Yes! In the net! Your last sub, number 12. Goes and gives the family some love on the bench. And scores the goal right there at the 14:07 minute. Number 12, Pressure Wheeze in the net. Brian Rivas, comes back on the court. He's got number 12, number 2, number 33, number 10, and number 8 on the court. As Brussa looks to try to counterattack, even the score. Andres putting pressure on. This goes across. Interception by Rivas. Tries to pull the defender in to create attacking space. Andres gets the ball. Brussa in possession as they try to counterattack. Quick shot, blocked by Andres, goes back to the Brussa goalkeeper, who plays it to Vargas, who plays it to Medina. Quick sub for Brussa. Lima's on, number 8. Ball goes out of bounds. Nice pressure by your Gloom. Looks like Rivas will do the restart. Plays it to Andres, plays it back. Let's get on the court. We have Rivas playing defensively. Pedro, Andres, kind of like your midfielders. We got Ruiz up on top, looking to get a second goal. Can you get a brace? It's not uncommon to get a brace or a hat trick in futsal. Ball gets played back to Brian. Looks for Pedro, the captain. Plays it back. Rivas, oh! Nice little trickery right there. Unfortunately, Pedro couldn't get under his foot. The post got in the way. Brussa begins to counterattack, playing the ball in Medina on the south side of the court. Ruiz putting pressure on the ball. Percy comes back, trying to force Brussa to play backwards. Ball goes in to their captain, and looks like we have a tackle and our first card of the game against Andres. Tactical, very tactical foul right there. Andres comes off, and Santiago comes back on. It is going to be a Brussa restart, about 10 yards from the goal. It is 12:14 left in the game. It's 1-0 for your Santa Fe Gloom. We have all 4 of the Gloom back defensively. And looks like we have a timeout called by Brussa, as they look to figure out how to score on that direct kick. Once again, special thanks go out to our game sponsors. The official game sponsor is your local Del Norte Credit Union, DNCU. Visit them today or online at dncu.org. City of Santa Fe Economic Development, thank you, Joanna Nelson. Capital Ford of Santa Fe, thank you, Zach Brandt, for your many years of contribution to the community. The official t-shirt burrito canning sponsor is Pantry Dose. Our athletic trainers, Joe Friedrich and Stephanie Olian of Professional Therapy Partners. The official podcast partner is Pit Press Podcast, Erica and Jennifer Moulton. The official warm-up jersey sponsor is your Santa for the Gloom is St. Vincent Hospital Foundation. And of course, the official Gloom jersey, we have the emblem of Mercedes from Mercedes-Benz of Santa Fe. Thank you, Michael Martinez and family. As we come back out of this timeout, it is still 1-0. First half, 12:14 left. Brussa will do a restart. On the court, we have Ruiz, Santiago, Rivas, and Torres representing your Gloom. All four players, including the goalkeeper, are in the way of the shot. Looks like we have a three-man wall. Rivas offset a little bit to north with Pedro. And now we see Brussa kind of doing counter, players running, trying to do a shot and try to do a fakery. Luckily, the Gloom block it. Ricochet goes out of bound for a restart for Brussa deep in Gloom territory. Brussa goes to restart, chips up high. Vargas receives it, goes as your Gloom pressures the ball, makes him Brussa play deep. Pedro on the ball, does a slide tackle, ball stays in bounds, and Pedro does a stab, knocks out of bounds. Great defense. Pedro is coming out, and we have Maximo Brito for his first minutes of the game on the court. And his first touch is an interception as he tries to get by. Oh, we did not play advantage. He got fouled at about mid-court. As we do a quick restart, could Maximo, and tries to get patient with his shot. And he earns a corner kick. Some more miscommunication right there. Rivas was trying to give some direction, and Prushy did not hear and thought something else was going on. They turned the ball over for a Brussa restart on the north side of the court. Presley, number 12, putting pressure on the ball. See a lot of movement north, south, east, west. Players moving off the ball, which is a really great thing for young players to come see. You should not be watching the game. You should be part of the game, active, scanning, knowing where players are at. As Brussa looks to attempt to penetrate the Gloom defense. Pressure comes off, Chili's back on. So we got Maximo, Chili, Rivas, and Santiago. Of course, Daniel Rentieri. Usually you don't have substitutions on the goalkeepers in these matches. Oh, nice turn by Rivas. Plays the ball to Santiago. Nice little chip to Bustamante. Couldn't get it in time, but does earn a restart. Rivas will do the restart. Santiago comes deep. Maximo on the north side. Chile fighting for position in the box. Earns a restart again. Rivas plays it back. Santiago sees Maximo across. Comes back to... unfortunately, part of the roof got in the way, the ceiling, the separation netting, which automatically creates a turnover for the other team. Brussa will do a restart on the north side, about half court. Ball goes out of bounds, and the Gloom earn a keeper restart. Next go Chile, Brian, and Santiago, including Daniel on the court. As Daniel looks to go deep, long, fast. Chile wasn't ready. Ball goes out of bounds for a Brussa keeper restart. Actually, it looks like we're going to do a kick in. Maximo presses the ball deep into Brussa territory. One thing that Gloom also have advantage, not only home field advantage here, or home court advantage, but they have definitely a deeper bench. Brussa did not bring a lot of players with them. And we have Chile showing his passion. As a captain, he can talk to the ref. Did a little body check. Earns a penalty. Rivas playing deep. But Chile goes over, helps the Brussa player back on his feet. Quick restart. Still 1-0 in favor of your Santa Fe Gloom. About 10 minutes left in this game. Quick turnover. Chile earns it. It's 2v4. Oh, some nice, beautiful footwork by Chile. Earns himself a corner kick. Rivas will go do the kick. Maximo, Santiago, Chile, and Rivas on the court deep south for the corner kick. Oh, a nice little cross. Unfortunately, behind Chile, he went a little bit deep in his penetration. It'll be a Brussa restart on the south side of the court. Number 4, Medina will do the kick in. There's a 14 who does a chip shot, but Maximo's on there. He's being pressured. Couldn't get the ball under his feet in time. Does a turnover. Goes to Brussa, relatively deep in the Gloom territory. For Brussa, we have Martins, Medina, Brandeo. Slide tackle, Bustamante stays relatively calm. And somehow Brussa receives a restart. Could have sworn it looked like it should have been a Gloom restart, but that's why we have officials. A nice cross ball. Oh, and Chile's patient. That's nice defense. Let the attacking player make the first move, and you can counter and protect your goal. Lima is the other player for the Brussa. Brussa has the ball. Restart Medina. Places to Lima. Lima comes across court, plays it back to Medina. Got Maximo putting pressure. Brandeo with the ball. Back to Lima. Little nutmeg on Chile there. Goes to Martins, their captain. Medina top. Oh, unfortunately, a great shot. Daniel couldn't see it. He was blinded by his players, and it does just go into the net. So it's 1-1 at your 9:03 marker. As Andreas comes back on, we got Maximo, Chile, Brian, and Andreas on as we restart again. Maximo go to Rivas, Rivas to Andreas. Andreas brings it south. Oh, unfortunately, Brian got a little, was thinking more ahead of what he was going to be doing and didn't get his foot on the ball properly. Goes out of bounds for a restart for Brussa. Medina goes to play the ball. Deep cross. No, it's nice again. Bustamante just there being patient, getting his left foot out there. Knocks it out of bounds. Andres will switch with Brian, going deep. Now they switched again. Ball gets restarted. Brandeo to Martins. Oh, miscommunication. Brandeo thought he was going to go wide. Martins thought he was going to come into it. Turns over for the Gloom. Rivas plays it to Daniel, the keeper. Plays it back to Rivas. Pedro's now on for Maximo. An unfortunate miscommunication. Ball moving fast. Oh, nice defensive recovery. Now it's 2v1. Can Brian and Andreas? Oh, we have some action out here. We have some players. This is unfortunate. It's part of the game. It's physicality. But reaction, how we react to the game. As professionals, we need to show the youth. Keep our calm. Yes, you want to protect your players. Medina has already taken a rip shot, Christmas shot to the gut. Took a chest shot. He's coming off now. Calming it down. We got a yellow card. So Brian got himself a yellow. Martin's got a yellow. The ball is being played for Gloom. .25 left in the game. It's 1-1 in the first half, I should say. We have Andreas deep next to the goal. Chile, Pedro over the ball. Brian deep, Daniel on the field. Get ready for the restart. Sorry. A little fan action taking my papers away on me. Chile does a rip. Oh, almost deflected off of Andreas into net, but goes out of bounds for a Brussa restart. Deep ball to Brussa's captain Martin. Goes out of bounds for a Gloom restart. Looks like Sergio Rivas just earned himself a yellow card. Rivas, Pedro, Andreas, Chile, Daniel on the pitch for your Gloom. We've got Fuller, Medina, Bandeo, Martins on the court for Brussa. As we do a restart, Brian's got the ball just over mid-court. Does a ricochet off Fuller. It is a Gloom restart. Andres plays it back to Rivas. Rivas has the ball, looking to be patient, tries to get a check. Oh, a left-footed ripper goes just wide. It is a Brussa restart for their goalkeeper, Gerald Wilson. And we have another substitution for your Gloom. We have Presci on number 12. So we have Pedro, Presci, Andreas, and Brian. Chile comes off for a much needed rest. A shot by Bandeo. Beautiful save by Daniel. Does create a Brussa corner kick. Quick restart. Martin tries to come across, chops at it, goes out of bounds for a Gloom restart. So we have Brian deep defensively, Pedro on the south side, Andreas on our north side, and Presci in the box. Brian tries to get chippy, doesn't get past Medina, goes out of bounds north side. Andreas has the ball. Quick restart. Deep ball, and it goes out of bounds for a Brussa restart. Wilson, goalkeeper, gets the ball. They've got Fuller, Medina, Martins, and Bandeo. He goes deep to Martins. He tries to use his size, turns around, takes a shot. Daniel plays it safe, saves it instead of letting it go out of bounds. Restarts. Rivas to Pedro. Pedro to Rivas to Andreas. Does a little crossover and gets under pressure. Ball gets played back to the goalkeeper. And looks like we're going to call a foul on Bandeo. So we wait for the ball to get back. We are at 7 minutes. Ball comes back out. Looks like Pedro is going to have the restart with Brian. Andres is on the south side. And Presti putting pressure on the net. Looks like Rivas is going to put his magical boot, left-footed boot, on the ball. And he goes across to Pedro, who gets the ball stuck underneath his feet. Quick counterattack by Medina. Andres shields it. They play on. Nice patience. Slide tackle by Presti deep south. And Brian just kicks the ball out of bounds, protects, does the restart. Sometimes you have to do that when there's a lot of pressure and your team doesn't know who they're covering or marking. Gives them time to create opportunities. Quick restart. Brussa likes these little trickery plays to pull the Gloom defense out and free up one, if not two players by the movement. Bandeo has the ball. Pedro, point man. Ooh, nice. He looked like he's going to fake it back. Pulls it in. Fuller, Medina, Andreas on the ball. Medina back to Bandeo. Bandeo to Martins. Martins to Bandeo. Bandeo to Martins. Tries to get the double team press. He goes for the slide tackle. Oh, dangerous play, but very brave. Earns Gloom with possession of the ball. Rivas with the ball. Plays it to Presti. Presti's looking. Pedro trying to pull people in. Tries to keep it tight, can't get around. Medina's got the ball. Plays it back to Fuller. Fuller sees Medina on the south side of the court. And we have the substitution. Martins comes out for Brussa. Vargas on. Lima on as well. So it's Bandeo, Medina, Limas, and Vargas. Medina on the ball now. Vargas on the ball, playing to Bandeo. Presti on the point, pressuring. A deep ball. Unfortunate miscommunication by Rivas and Daniel. And the sub who just came on, Vargas, is able to slip it in from that high chip cross. It's unfortunately Santa Fe Gloom 1, Brussa 2. We got Santiago back on, Presti, Rivas, and Pedro, who receives the ball on the north side of the court. Sees Rivas on the south side. Santiago is to his left, Pedro to his right. Plays it deep. Santiago, who plays it back to Brian. Looking to pull the Brussa defense out to create a scoring opportunity. Brian's on the ball, patient. Nice little turnaround by Santiago. The ball goes out of bounds north. Deflection off the goalkeeper's gloves. Pedro has it on the north side. Trying to identify the color, what lines use is, there's so many lines out here, is dangerous. Daniel gets the ball back deep. Brian goes north, receives the ball. Brian's looking to penetrate. Unfortunately, he plays the ball a little too hard. And a nice counter save by Rivas with the slide. Chile's back on for Presti. So we have Santiago, Pedro, Rivas, and Julian on the court with Daniel. Bandeo, Vargas, Medina, and Lima for Brussa. Plays it deep to the goalkeeper Wilson. Plays it south to Vargas. Medina's got the ball, tries to do a counter chip. Pedro intercepts, 3v2. Oh, unfortunately, Pedro plays it a little too hot for Rivas, who is making a counter run on the south side. Rivas goes out. and Jose Gonzalez onto the court. Medina with the ball. Santiago puts pressure on him. Playing it, pressure deep south. Badeo gets the ball. Chile's point man. Switches. Brings it back to Badeo. Medina to his right. Lima and Vargas making runs. Chile putting pressure on Badeo. Plays the ball south to Medina. Tries to do a counter, quick wall pass, and it's 2v1. Oh, Medina shows some terrific footwork and plays a pass Daniel just over his shoulder. And now it's 3-1, I should say 1-3. We call a timeout at the 3:33 time. We do see Rivas with some video showing one of the referees what he was trying to elaborate before he got the yellow card. Once again, follow your Santa Fe Gloom on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Watch them live every home game. Once again, many thanks to David Fresquez for purchasing this franchise a little over 3 years ago and bringing futsal, a professional soccer team, to Santa Fe. Get ready for this restart. As I said, 3:33 left in the first half. This is your Santa Fe Gloom 1, Brussa 3. Chile's trying to get his team going. We got Andres, Chile, Pedro, and Jose as your starting four. On the court, Pedro on the ball north, plays it centrally to Jose, plays it back to Pedro. Jose plays it to Andreas, trying to pull. The whole point about moving this ball back and forth is to pull two defenders out toward the ball, freeing up a man who goes into open space and hoping for a chip pass as he goes north to Chile. He's looking to create opportunities again, trying to pull the defender in. Jose to Andreas on the south side. Sees Pedro making a run to the deep pocket. Plays it back to Andreas. Plays across north court to, unfortunately, Chile got his lines mixed up. That's the second time, ladies. As I said, when you have so many lines on the court here, and they're all roughly same coloration, it makes it hard to identify the line. We're changing the balls out. Quick stop by the officials. 2:54 left in the game as we look to switch the balls. Bandeo, Medina, Vargas, and Lima on the court. Cross court, miscommunication. Medina can't control the ball. Andres plays the ball across to Jose, who plays it centrally to Pedro. Sees Jose north, Pedro. Pedro takes a shot, gets deflected by Brussa for a Gloom corner kick. Andres is going to take the kick. Bustamante looking to run. Gloom earn another corner kick. 2:37 left. Quick restart to Pedro. What they're trying to do is they're trying to pull a gap and penetrate into the box. Get the keeper blindsided. So players do have to be a certain distance away from the restart. Pedro's got the ball, tries to turn and take a quick shot. Gets deflected. Blocked by Lima. Daniel comes out of his box, sees Pedro. Pedro tries to get a little ambitious. Curving outside foot. Quick restart by Andreas to Pedro. To Jose. Sees Andreas south. He's looking to do a crossover. Takes a shot. Oh, nice save by the keeper. Ball comes back, restart with Daniel. Sees Chile on the north side of the court. We do have Daniel coming out, creating numbers, attacking numbers again. You'll see the slot in futsal where the keeper will create numbers. But they have to be careful and quick. And shove from the back earns a restart for the Gloom. That was actually a smart foul for Brussa. It kind of slowed the game down, restart, force Gloom to reconfigure and not be so quick on the counterattack. Bustamante out, and we have a new player on the court. We have his first minutes of the game, Jaime Hernandez, number 9. Pedro Andres, tries to get a chip shot to the tall Jaime, who could make a presence felt in that box. Jose's off. We got another new player, minutes for the game. And we have Leonardo David on the court. Bendeo, Vargas, Lima, Medina on the court. We haven't seen the puck goes out of bound for a Gloom restart. You can do these things called shielding. We can shield the ball, shield the line, protecting the ball, and protecting the space. Leonardo with the ball. Tries to take a shot. Another gut-ripping shot. Player's down, but you can keep playing. It's up to that player to come off the court. Looks like a couple of these players for Brussa will be doing some core workout between now and their next game. So we have Pedro, Leonardo, Jaime, and Andreas on the court for the last few minutes of the half, giving the other core players of the Gloom some much needed rest. Leonardo to Andreas, back to Leonardo. Sees Pedro. Can we at least get one more in back of the net in the final seconds of the first half? Andreas looks to go deep, tries to do a slide corner. Ball rolls off his back for a Brussa restart. We have a little under 40 seconds left in the first half. Pedro, Leonardo, Jaime, and Andreas on the court. Chip deep to the bench of Gloom. Leonardo does a quick restart to Pedro. Unfortunately, Leonardo can't get past. Does earn a restart. Leonardo to Pedro. Pedro to Andreas. Andreas to Jaime. Does a shot to Pedro. Nice rip. But Wilson puts his hands on it and covers. Plays it to Medina on the south side. Leonardo playing patient. 10 seconds left. Brussa's playing the ball. Can they counter? No. Brussa receives the ball. And that is time for your first half. Exciting first half. A couple of yellow cards out there earned for a couple of players. The score is 1 for your Santa Fe Gloom, 3 for Brussa. Be interesting to see what tactics change for your Santa Fe Gloom to try to get 2 goals back without conceding anymore. And try to get a win out of this. Try to get the needed 3 points that keep them abreast with, as close as possible with Brussa in the Southwest Division. We don't want to go backwards. We just earned our second place for that. So we're going to take a quick break. Halftime. We will tell you when the second half starts, the benches do rotate. So that means the Gloom, who's currently on our east side to our right, will then move to the west side bench to our left, and Brussa will make the same move going eastward. Thank you. I hope you're enjoying the game. If you want a shout out, tag me, and I'll give you a shout out. I'll go check out the YouTube channel right now. This will probably be a quick exchange of goalkeepers for Brussa. Sometimes they do this for a tactical reason to create chaos again, since it is a Brussa restart. Or sorry, start for the second half. Looks like we got Fuller out there. Lima, Vargas, Bandeo on the pitch, keeping the goal open while they do restart with the keeper for Brussa all the way up at midcourt. Pedro, Pressy, Andreas, Brian, and Jorge representing your Gloom on the pitch for the start of the second half. There we go. And we have a quick restart. They're going to try to send their keeper deep, create chaos again. Now, of course, they're ahead 3-1, right? So they can waste time trying to pull the Gloom in to create numbers again, attacking numbers. Trying to get the ball long and deep. Bandeo gets the ball south, plays it back. Lima to Medina. What they're trying to do is create pulling tactical chaos against the Gloom by having their goalkeeper up wide in possession. Trying to draw the defenders in, get a quick counter switch of the play, switch of the field. Brussa is patient, keeping control of the ball. They go deep to their goalkeeper, who plays a deep ball. Looks to take a shot, Medina, and Jorge plays big, blocks a shot. Wow, this is an interesting tactic by Brussa, keeping their keeper all the way up mid-court, all the way at the top of the court. Two deep defenders, though. Does create chaos. And because of that, the ball gets restarted for the Gloom because they took too long on the corner kick. Rivas will take a restart. And now Wilson for Brussa comes in. Quick restart, Brian to Andreas. Looking at Pedro. Brian to Andreas. And Pedro on the south side, nice switch of court. Pedro tries to get the ball in. Oh, Andreas didn't know where his player was at. Thought Brian was making a deeper run. Unfortunate miscommunication again by the Gloom. Andreas kicks out of bounds. So Brussa restart. They switch keepers again for Brussa. Their attacking player, goalkeeper comes out. This is not a sweeper keeper, this is an attacking keeper. So Brussa has an empty net technically. Once again, the keeper can only use their hands in their keeper area as Brussa tries to pull the players in to the northeast part of the court. What they're trying to do is swing and get a ball deep. Can they get it in? Get it in. Gloom's got a ball. Oh, nice shot, but a deflection. Plays it back to Andreas. Andreas to Brian on the south side of the court. Pressy inside the center of the box. Pedro, Brian. He's asking for players to switch. Andreas switches. Brian takes a ripping shot on the back of Medina, earning a Gloom restart. Pressy with the ball, plays it back to Jorge, who's out of his box now at midcourt. Trying to counter Wilson. Brussa switched keepers again, so Wilson's back in the net. Looks like that's a tactic that they're going to do whenever the ball goes in. Ball goes deep over into the running track of the Chavez Center. They do have two balls, so they got another ball. Rivas has a ball, takes a ripping shot. And it goes for a Brussa restart. Wilson with the ball. Keeper plays it out to Medina. Gets immediate pressure from Pressy, who forces the out of bounds. Gloom ball, restart. Rivas with the ball. Plays it back to Andreas. Sees Pedro on the north part of the court. Ruiz south side gets the ball, tries to counterattack. Sees Andreas. You got your four Brussa defenders now compact centrally around their goal. Being patient, they know they're ahead, 3-1. They don't have to do anything drastic. Pedro tries to take a shot, Looks like it's a deflection off the shoelace of Medina, earning a Gloom corner kick. Pedro goes into the corner. Chile's on the court now. Pedro, Chile, Brian, and he launches it. Chile launches that corner kick into the rafters. Wilson with the ball, plays it short. Andres intercepts. Nice goalkeeping. He comes out big, low, blocking Andres' shot. It is a Gloom restart. Jorge gets the ball deep south. As he comes to midcourt, trying to get numbers into the box. Chile taking a shot. It's going to be a Wilson restart. Martins now comes on for Lima for Brussa. Got Bandeo, Vargas, Medina, who just receives the ball from Wilson. Bandeo gets the ball, Chile's on pressure. And the ball gets let roll all the way down for a keeper. Jorge plays it into Rivas, who now comes up midcourt. Sees Pedro on the north side. Chile tries to do a flick shot. And it's a restart for Gloom. Chile's going to take it. Plays it back to Jorge, about midcourt, the keeper. Jorge plays it to Brian. Andres has it. Your Gloom's relatively doing the same thing that Brussa was doing. This is that they don't have a keeper attacker on the court. It's just Jorge is pressing more outside of his box to create numbers. Oh, a nice left-footed shot by Andres. Wilson was there to block it. Plays it Medina. Andres puts pressure on the ball. Bandale on the south side of the court. Chile puts pressure. Pedro puts a foot on it. Goes out of bounds for a Brussa ball. And looks like we have Vargas coming in for Lima. And then Brussa does the attacker keeper since they have possession on the restart. Wilson comes out. Bandale on the south side of the court. They're going to pull Gloom players in to create attacking numbers by getting the ball to swing and the defender switching back and forth. And once the action gets lopsided, then they'll attack. Martins with the ball to Medina, who's making a run on the north side. Plays it back to Lima. Lima, Medina. Still no keeper in the box for, oh, nice little touch by Medina as he comes down. Can he play the ball? And Rivas defensively slides and prevents the cross. It is a Brussa corner. Once again, we have technically 5 attacking players here because we have the attacker, keeper for Brussa on the court. Lima to Bandale. Bandale to Martins. Martins to Bandale. Plays it. Oh! Yes! Counterattack, and Pedro puts it in the net. It is now your Santa Fe Gloom 2, Brussa 3. We have Maximo, Chile, Pedro, Rivas, Jorge representing your Gloom on the court. It's Martins, Bandale, Lima, and Medina, and Wilson for Brussa. So now, game is close. Oh, nice slide by Rivas. Oh, he's got some passion out there. Lima shakes it off. He loves it. It's part of the game. These guys don't play the game not for love. Oh, that was a nice try to counter by Bandeo, trying to get that ball in. Ball goes out of bounds for a keeper start. Actually, it's going to be a kick in from the side. Jorge does it to Brian. Maximo, Chile. Maximo gets the ball, looking for Chile. And Martin comes in and toes it out for a Gloom restart. We got Pedro, Maximo in the box, asking for distance for the restart. Chile would do the restart. Jorge up, Brian at the top. Pedro. Ooh. Martin's got the ball. Pedro's there. Keeper's got the ball. Plays it up. Rivas has the ball. Plays it to Maximo to Pedro. So dribbles in south. Brian's got the ball. Looks for Pedro. Oh, nice trying to get him switch. Oh, do we have it? Do we have it? Oh, Pedro had the ball, couldn't slip it past the keeper. Hits the post, goes out of bounds. Wilson for Brussa has the restart. Once again, we have Pedro putting pressure on the ball. Chile centrally, Maximo on the south side. As he puts pressure on Lima, he goes deep. Brian counters, intercepts. Pedro's got the ball, resets, and Maximo replaces to Brian. Chile to his left. Pedro deep, and Maximo to his right. We have just a little over 13 minutes left in this game. Maximo's got the ball, looking for a player south. He's got two of his players north. Got Chile on the south side. Brian with the ball mid-court, pulls it south to Chile. He's looking to come in, tries to take a right-footed shot, gets blocked by Bandel, gets a corner kick. Chile's going to do the corner kick. Ball goes in, and Brian gets adventuresome, tries to do a left-footed volley. Just kicks it, took his eye off the ball. Lou Wilson tries to go deep to Medina. Nice control work on the touchline. Saves it, brings it down. Chile puts pressure on the ball. Medina with the ball, Pedro on pressure. As Medina comes in south. Two-manning on. And Martin's nice work. Oh, Medina tries to bring it up to Martin. Luckily, Gloom intercept, though they do concede a corner kick. Wilson still on the court for Brussa, because they know it's only 3-2 in their favor. And we have a delay of game again. So you have a certain amount of time you have to get the ball back into play. And Brussa was not able to do that. We do have a restart. Jorge going to Brian on the north side. So we have Brian and Maximo north side. And we have Leonardo on the pitch. Chile has the ball. Sees Leonardo cheat deep. Tries to get the ball to Maximo. Unfortunately, couldn't get under control. Knocks it out of bounds for a Brussa restart. Bandeo for Brussa does the restart. Chips it deep. Jorge receives it. Places it to Brian. Chile on the north side of the court, receives it. Tries to bury it. Chile's off now, Jose's on. Jorge takes a shot. Oh, gets the keeper unawares. Keeper does block it. Wilson does earn a corner kick for your Gloom. Once again, we got Maximo, Chile, Leonardo, Jose, and Jorge on the court. Jorge does a chip pass to Chile, who plays it back to Jorge. Unfortunately, he panics and miskicks the ball out of bounds. So it is a Brussa restart just over midcourt in Gloom territory. We got Martins, Bandeo, Lima, Medina, and Wilson on for Brussa. Chips into Captain Martin, who tries to go. Chile's got the ball. He's trying to come in. And Lima does a good defensive play. Knocks out of bound. Maximo restarts to Leonardo. Back to Maximo. Ooh, miscommunication there. And Jose is able to receive it and save it. As we restart, Maximo on the south side, Leonardo on the north side, and Chile right in front of the keeper. Leonardo with the ball, plays it in. Ooh, and a nice reaction by Wilson, the keeper. Comes out, slides, recovers the ball on the court. We got a little youth action on the east side of the pitch. So we're going to do a restart for the keeper, and there we go. Wilson's got the ball, plays it. Just under 12 minutes left in the game. It is Brussa 3, your Santa Fe Gloom 2. As the Gloom put full court pressure. Jose's putting pressure on Bandeo. It goes deep, but Leonardo's there to intercept. Unfortunately, Lima gets it. Goes for a left-footed shot right at the big man Jorge in the net. He plays it to the north part of the court to Leonardo. He's got Maximo to his left. Brian's trying to go in. Almost looks like a pass, but it looks like a shot. And we have Jaime in on the field now. Jaime Hernandez, number 9. Maximo putting pressure on the ball. Jaime putting pressure on the ball. Brian putting pressure on Bende, who just received the ball. Nice defensive work by Jaime. Ball goes out of bounds for a Brussa restart. Got Jaime, Andreas, Leonardo, Brian on the court, Jorge in the net. Against the smaller statued. Ooh, what a tackle from Jaime from behind. That was kind of a hard hit for Lima. It almost sounded like he hit his head on the court. Leonardo goes out, Pedro comes back in. We got Jaime, Andreas, Pedro, Rivas on the court with Jorge in the net. Medina, Lima, Vargas, and Bendeo, and Wilson for Brussa. Just a little over 11 minutes left. Santa Fe Gloom 2, Brussa 3. As we take a player injury timeout. Once again, shout out to our game sponsors for today. We'll go backwards. Official Gloom titled sponsor, jersey sponsor is Mercedes-Benz of Santa Fe. Thanks go to the Martinezes. Many thanks, Michael, for your continued support of soccer in Santa Fe. The official game sponsor is Del Norte Credit Union, DCNU. Visit them at any of your local branches or online at dcnu.org. Capital Ford of Santa Fe, thank you, Brent family. As we get ready for a restart, looks like number 3, Brian Uribe, who was the attacker keeper, is now just on the court as a true field player. Andres, Pedro, Jaime, and Brian on for your Gloom. So looking to restart, 11:01 left, and it starts. Medina receives the ball, Pedro on pressure. Bendeo is trying to come over, do almost like a basketball play there. Medina on the north side with the ball, tries to get trickery, and Andreas plays smart defense, shields the line, gets the restart. Rivas with the ball. Tries to pull in, nice chip. Unfortunately, a little too much for Andreas. The Gloom coach looking for a rotation on the ball. Tries to say it was deflected off of a Brussa player. Bendeo, number 14, will start. Chips it to a running Vargas. Oh, and it takes a ripping volley. But it goes high and wide. Restart for Jorge. Places to Pedro on the north side. He's got Andreas and Brian on the south. Pressey comes in for the Gloom. Pedro with the ball. Brian does a counter run. Tries to place it in, and unfortunately, there's no one there. We're saying it's the deflection off a Brussa player. South side restart by Andreas for your Gloom. Plays it deep to Jorge, the keeper. He's like looking to pull the defender out to create numbers again. A shot by Andreas, right-footed. Keeper saves it near post. Goes out of bounds for a Gloom corner. Looks like Rivas is coming up to take the corner. All right, we're working on that stream for you guys. Sorry about that. Some technical difficulties here. Brian gets the ball. Andreas comes over. Oh, a nice left-footed rip Wilson, the keeper, is able to save it, deflects out of bounds for a Gloom restart. Andres plays it back to Brian. Brian over to Pedro. Brian comes in, tries to take it left-footed shot, gets saved by Bandeo. He goes back top north court. Interception by the Gloom. Presley's got the ball. Unfortunately, miscommunication where the ball's going to go. Does create a turnover for the Brussa deep south. Bandeo, Medina, Vargas, and Uribe on the court with Wilson in goal. Uribe back to Bandeo. Oh, it takes a quick ripping shot. Oh, saved by Jorge, but even a more impressive reaction by Brian Ribas to save the ball. Quick reflexes by Brian. Saves a fourth in the net. It does go out of bounds for a Brussa restart deep in Gloom territory. Bandeo with a restart. Plays it deep to Medina. Pedro putting pressure. Leaves it for Wilson, the goalkeeper. Medina receives it. Goes deep to Vargas. Ball goes out of bounds for a goal restart. Brian gets the ball, gives it to Jorge. Jorge does a quick, drops the ball at Brian's feet. Goes to Pedro. Brian does a quick chip shot. Pressing nice, reflexes. Receives the ball, one touch, plays it back to Brian, who sees Andres on the south side of the court. Brian receives central, Pedro on the north side. To Brian, takes a shot, gets deflected, back into Brussa possession. Medina's got on the north side. Presley putting pressure on the ball. Bandeo on the south side, drags it across the court. Vargas plays it to Medina. Pedro on pressure. Medina comes across. Vargas looks to rip it. Looks like it is a Brussa corner kick. We got Chile, Maximo, Brian, Pedro representing your Gloom on the court. Bandeo is going to restart. Tries to go through Chile. Look at that passion, ladies and gentlemen. Chile brings all that heat, yes, all that Chile heat on to the court. Wilson has the ball deep south. Bandeo's got the ball. Chile is using his size, his physicality, his passion. Forces the ball out of bounds. That's called wanting the ball, desire for the ball. It's going to be a Gloom restart. It is still your Gloom 2, Brussa 3. Ball gets played deep to Jorge, the goalkeeper. We just have 8.5 minutes left. Brian goes to Bustamante. Oh, yes! It's in the net! It is in the net. Chile, quick counter, gets the far post, gets the angle. It is now. Look at Chile showing some honor, respect for the team. That's right. Chile 3, Brussa 3. Chile showing his passion. He does not give up. He buried that in the net. Now we have a timeout as we look to reset. We have 8:21 left in this game in the half. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Restart. We got Chile, Pedro, Maximo, Brian, Jorge on the court. Putting pressure on the number 1 place, Brussa. Can they get the much deserved 3 points instead of just a 1 point for a tie? Chile urged the ball back. He's coming deep. He's coming deep. Takes a shot. He's back on his feet. as Vargas tries to counterattack. And we have some action going on down here. It's almost WE action, ladies and gentlemen. This game is fast and furious when you play with passion. We got Medina and Bustamante going at it head-to-head, literally. Medina's going to have some bruises all over his body after this game. Time is stopped for this. It's 8:01, 3-3. Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you what, you've got to come to these Gloom games, either at home or away. Show your support for the only professional soccer team north of Albuquerque, your Santa Fe Gloom, in their third season. Many thanks to David Fresquez for showing his passion for soccer and bringing the game to us. We've got Medina, Bandeo, Martins, and Vargas and Wilson for your Brussa on the court. And if you're not paying attention, I am, ladies and gentlemen. Maximo has snuck extremely deeply south on Brussa, and no one's paying attention. No one sees him, including Wilson. I don't think the goalkeeper knows he's back there. We're trying to figure out what's going on here. The officials have the ball. I'm not sure who's going to restart. Looks like it's going to be Gloom restart. Jorge's got the ball. Uh-oh. Gloom coach earns himself another yellow card. Just trying to calm the bench. Very passionate, especially when you're playing against the #1 team in the Southwest. And the score is tied, or a draw, 3-3. Getting the permission, the whistle to restart. Jorge plays it to Rivas. Rivas goes deep to Maximo, who tries to go, gets under pressure, still wins the ball. Rivas has the ball. Unfortunately, he was looking south deep for Chile, gets intercepted. Martins with the ball. Now with Brussa, goes deep into Bandeo, who somehow managed to get past 3 Gloom players. Restarts back to Martin. Medina with the ball. Back to Bandeo, back to Medina. Rivas putting the pressure on the ball. Bustamante playing with his passion. Now we got a full court press. Deep ball to Martins. Tries to turn around with his left foot. Miskicks it. Restart for Jorge. Goes to the north side where Maximo's got Jaime's on the court to replace Bustamante. So it's Rivas, Pedro, Maximo, Jaime on the court. Rivas with the ball. Sees Maximo on the north side. Pedro makes a run deep to the north side. Brian to Pedro. Pedro to Jaime. Jaime to Brian. He does a ripping shot, but gets deflected by Medina out of bounds for a Gloom restart. Pedro with the ball for the restart. Jorge's out of his box. We got Andreas now on the court. Pedro, Andreas, Jaime, and Brian. Little chip to Brian. Jaime, who is Pedro, putting pressure on the ball. Comes out, falls to the feet of Medina. Pulls it back. Jaime putting pressure on the ball. Andreas, Bandeo does not know what's going on. Gets caught flat-footed. It will be a Gloom restart. Pedro out, Leonardo in. Andreas plays it back to Brian. Brian sees Leonardo on the north side. Jaime going deep into the corner of Brussa's. Andreas to Brian. Brian to Leonardo. Jaime at the north part of the court. Brian back with the ball to Leonardo. Leonardo dribbles it back, drops it off with Brian. Brian brings it to the south side of the court to Andreas, who turns, looks to bring it in. Jaime is there with the ball. Andreas. Whoa, Brian had an opportunity. He was patient. Just received the ball back to Andreas. Back to Brian. They're trying to pull the Brussa defense, who is very patient. Andreas with the ball. Brings it back, pulled out 2 defenders. Brian with the ball. Unfortunately, couldn't earn. Nice cross to Andreas, who tries to put it in. Jaime wasn't there. Is a Gloom restart. Leonardo with the ball. Plays it in Brian. Number 10. He's being patient, takes the ball to the north side of the court, plays it to Leonardo. Andreas on the south side with Jaime. Brian to Andreas. Andreas back to the north side of Leonardo. Brian. Andreas goes to south. Andreas with the ball. Jaime on the south side, just received the ball. Tries to do a quick wall pass. Gets intercepted. Medina on north side. Nice defense by Jaime. Unfortunately, the ball rolls out of bounds. So it'll be a Brussa restart. Jaime coming back out. Prussi on the court. Trying to put some defense. Brian does a slide, gets out of the way. Prussi, nice. Where does that man have that fleet of foot flying in the air? Get the ball going south as Andreas counters the big body of Martin for the shot right into Jorge's belly. Brian's got the ball. Andreas, Leonardo, Prussi on the court. Oh, Andreas tries to rip it. This right foot goes high and over the net. We have 4:36 left in the game. We have Brian, Leonardo, Prussi, and Andreas on the court. Bandeo, Medina, Fuller, and Martin for Brussa. Martin receives the ball. Bandeo tries to do a shield. Andreas with the ball. Nice slide by Rivas to force the ball out of bounds for a Brussa restart. Bandeo with the ball. Plays into Martin. He's a big guy. Trying to use his size. Oh! It wasn't intentional. He was trying to come around and take a shot. Unfortunately, missed the ball and got Prussi's foot. We got some passion. The draw, half 3-3 against the number 1 team, will bring out some passion, some heat. Referees talking to Prussi. Just making sure everything's okay, making sure we're playing the game with the spirit of the sport, spirit of the game. Brian restarts to Leonardo. To Brian. To Andreas on the south side. Back to Brian in the middle of the court. He's asking for Jorge to come up. Andreas and Brian exchange positions. Leonardo's got the ball. The attack takes his shot, tries to get the keeper. Not aware. Ball goes out of bounds for a Wilson Brussa restart. One's got the ball. Goes deep, rolls it to Martin, who's trying to use his size to turn around. Nice counter pressure by Rivas. Andreas comes back. Intercepts, but it does create a corner kick. Bandeo on the corner with Brussa. Prussi putting near post on the line. Plays it deep to Wilson. Wilson chips it up. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen. Off the fade of Martin's head. Gets Jorge out of the net. Martin flicks it with his hair. Puts Brussa up 4. Santa Fe Gloom 3. Just at the 4-minute marker. Prussi, Andreas, Rivas, Pedro with Jorge. Ball into Prussi, goes around, turned, tries to take a shot, goes wide for a Brussa restart. That was a great assist by Wilson, I do have to say. Waiting for the ball. We had 2 balls at the start of this game. There we go. We got a ball for Wilson. Pedro, Prussi, Andreas, and Brian on the court. Putting pressure. Bandeo chips it up. Can Prussi get the ball? Oh. Ball gets saved by Brussa. Uribe with the ball back to Bandeo. He's got Medina. What a beautiful touch by Medina. He's got the ball back. Pedro's in there. Nice physical game. Gets pulled down by Uribe. It is Pedro with the ball to Andreas. South to Rivas. Rivas, Pedro. Back to Rivas. He gets put under pressure. Ball gets knocked out of bounds. Gloom restart. Rivas with the ball. Plays it north to Andreas. Pulls it back south to Rivas. Gets slide tackled. Ball goes out of bound for a Gloom restart. Looks like we're going to call it a foul, though, here. So restart for the Gloom. Andreas has the ball. Him and Rivas are discussing what they're going to do. Pedro on the north side, Pressy right in front of the goal. And it's a quick restart. The ball never came in, but they're going to have it say it's a turnover for Brussa. Andreas is a little upset with himself. The play didn't come out. Chile comes on for Pressy, putting the pressure on Medina. Medina's quick of foot. Gets the ball to Lima, back to Medina. Ball goes out of bound for a Gloom restart. Pedro, Chile, Rivas, Andreas, Jorge. Ball south to Andreas on his right foot. Bandeo putting pressure. Back to the north to Rivas. To Pedro. To Andreas. He gets tackled by Uribe. Nice tackle. Gets possession of the ball back to Medina. Medina to Bandeo on the south side. Pressure by Rivas. Back to Medina with Pedro on pressure. Pedro, nice tackle, but unfortunately didn't get to win it. Ball just sat there. Medina with the ball. Chile putting pressure on him. Back to Wilson. Wilson goes deep long. Still in. Jorge's got the ball. To Andres on the south side. Brings it to... Oh, we got a foul. Tackle from behind. And we got a yellow card on Uribe. And we got a timeout called. It is. We have 2 minutes and 7 seconds left in this game, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, the score is 4 for Brussa, 3 for the Gloom. Can we get an equalizer in 2 minutes and 7 seconds? I say yes. Looks like Gloom is going to do the same thing that Brussa was doing the first half, try to put an attacker-keeper on when they have possession. We've got Chile over the ball with Rivas, Pedro and Andreas going near the goal. Jorge is currently on the pitch. Bandeo, Uribe, Medina, and Vargas. Wilson as Rivas is over the ball. Plays it for Bustamante, who unfortunately misfires. Does go out of bounds, though, on a deflection for Gloom. And they're asking for a keeper, attacker to come on. Jorge comes off. And Leonardo comes on in the black jersey to create attacking numbers. Brian with the ball. Goes to Leonardo. Rivas, Leonardo. Rivas. Bustamante. Pedro. Chile. Rivas. He's got Leonardo on this. To Andres, unfortunately, a little too hot for him. Ball out of bounds. Restart for Brussa. Bandeo comes and does it. 1:51 left Andreas comes out. Jaime comes on. Bandeo restarts. Ooh, both players in the air. Ball, oh, they're going to give the ball to Brussa. Bandeo looks at the restart. Chile, Brian, Jaime, Pedro. Medina's got the ball. Jaime's putting pressure. Medina's got some quick feet. Snaps it back to Uribe. Jorge's got the ball. Plays to Brian. Quick switch. Jorge off. Attacker, keeper. Leonardo on. Bustamante. Oh, Jaime tried to get the little turnaround, and the ball hits the rafters. Really bad kick by Wilson. We have Leonardo. Rivas. Chile. Takes a left-footed rip. And we're going to call a sliding tackle on Rivas as a card. Jorge comes back on. Leonardo out. We get a red card on Sergio. Actually, not Sergio. Brian's out. So we're down a player. We got Pedro, Jaime, Bustamante, Jorge on the court. Mr. Santa Fe Gloom 3, Brussa 4. Martins comes back on. Bandeo, Martin, Medina, and Vargas on for your Brussa with Wilson in goal. So because of that red card, the Gloom are playing down a man, which sucks being down a goal. We earned another yellow card and a red card for the bench. Looks like both Rivas have earned red cards. Bandeo does a quick restart. Martins, Bandeo plays it back. They can play patiently now. They're up a man, they're up a goal. Medina, Bandeo. Bandeo back to Medina, Bandeo. Gloom have to press because they're down. Medina with the ball. Ricochet. Oh, Medina's got quick feet. Andreas on for Jaime. Leonardo on for Jorge. They still have to play down a man though. Ball gets kicked out of bounds. It is a Gloom restart. Pedro to restart. Leonardo takes a shot. Oh, and the keeper got lucky. He was able to be there for it. Wilson to Bandeo. Looks like we've got less than 40 seconds left in this game. Medina to Bandeo. We got Pedro, Andreas, Chile on the court. Leonardo's going to stay in the net. They didn't do a switch with Jorge. To Bandeo. Pedro putting pressure. Chile putting pressure. Deep ball. Medina back to Bandeo. Now they're just passing the ball, killing the time. Medina, possession. And that is the game, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for attending live in person at the Chavez Center. Thank you for watching the game on YouTube. My name is David Saiba. I'm representing your Santa Fe Gloom here in Santa Fe. The results, Brussa goes undefeated for the season, keeping their first place ranking. They've got 5 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws. Your Santa Fe Gloom now have 2 wins and 3 losses for the season. We hope to see you on YouTube or live for the next game. Peace out, and come support your Santa Fe Gloom. They have a bunch of merchandise available. You can buy jerseys, scarves, hats, wristbands, show your support. Thank you so much, and have a great game. Remember, the world's greatest event is coming to the USA this summer, starting in June. The 2026 FIFA Men's World Cup will be happening. Watch those games, support those international players from around the world. Thank you, and have a blessed night.